Ian has spoken so well that I should speak briefly, and I won't preach to the converted. Point of this book really was to put all the arguments together in one place. We hoped it would be used to convert people, and it has been used to that purpose. Those of you who aren't authors might not be impressed to hear that I've sold 1,000 copies out of my garage in 2.5 months. Those of you who are will be amazed. I thought that would be a stock for years. The reason it's sold so quickly is that people are buying multiple copies and repeat copies. There's one that he says, I want 17, one for each of my fellow companies.
Essentially equipment.
Yeah. Spending $900 on it.
That's right. Well, a vet in Whyalla has bought 50 copies. I think he's leading so far.
Is he a member?
I presume so. Yes, I think he's going to be here at the conference. So the use of the book really is that, as Ian has said, it's so hard to make these arguments because you're up against natural human pronatalism. That natural tendency to think that we're such wonderful creatures, there need to be more of us, more of my children, more of my grandchildren, and by natural humane extension, more of everyone's children. That generates all kinds of fallacies. You can spend half your life running down the individual fallacies. Still never. I got into trouble because the book blew out to something like 6 times its possible length. At that stage, I called in Bill Lyons, a co-author, to do a job I usually think I can do of editing other people's work down and say, you don't need all that stuff. And Bill made some very interesting selections. I thought for sure that the stuff about Colin Clark, the former economist, and his bizarre notions that growth would go on forever would be removed as being out of date and no longer current. Bill saw that it could be used and it could be attached to the likes of Glenn Withers and Peter MacDonald with a brilliant set of analogies. So he pulled it together, and that's the reason that the book is this elegant length, which we remember, put a few arguments to him. And when he said, yes, what about the ageing population? And what about our duty to take in the rest of the world? You just say, chapter 4, chapter 6. So really, I've done nothing that wasn't in the heads of John Coulter, Sandra Crank, so many years, forever rewriting the same stories. Like it's a labour of Sisyphus to answer all the same arguments as they come back. But the book puts it all in one place and means that we can now attack. It's a critical time. Things are getting worse and worse. On the back of the book is John's graph, John Coulter's graph, showing that at 1.6% a year.
I've redone that. 1.8.
That's right.
103 billion by the end of the century.
That's right. Photographers used to make very complex calculations depending on the age of the population, the various cohorts. But the reality is we live in a plutocracy ruled by the rich or in a democracy. And the plutocracy have insisted on this 1.6 growth rate. And until politics changes, it will not go down. If natural increase goes down, as it will, they will simply bump up immigration to replace it. So we have to win this debate. The good news is there are lots of signs of the ice breaking. In the last year, most politicians are no longer in denial on climate change, shortages of water, world food shortages, a whole range of other issues, every one of which links back most obviously and directly to the population issue. The hope is we've now got our argument together, we've got the instrument, we can go out there and start to win this debate. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mark, so much. I think thank you to Ian, just person that has to promote it as well. Now we know it's been selling on its own, but now I can write a shelf. Yeah, put it on the slide when I've had it there. So.